Okay, so we're going to talk about your subconscious. That's what we came to do, to talk about mental mindset and your subconscious. How does your subconscious work? Some of you have done this before. This is going to be the first time for some of you. Let's learn how your subconscious works. Are you ready? So I want everybody to pick up your right leg. That's this one. And I want you to turn it in a clockwise motion. That's this way. And at the same time, pick your right hand up in the air like this and draw the number 6. Now, this tells us a ton about your personality, because some of you started to do it and went, nope, can't do it. Some of you are still trying to do it. I love the tenacity, yes. But what happened? Your foot went in the opposite direction? Or you started drawing the number 9? Or I saw some of you, you tried to think it through, like, and then you got kind of stuck, right? So what if your subconscious is stopping you from doing this? What if that's all it is, your subconscious? And what if I could tell you how to tell your subconscious to do something different so that you could do this? Show you how easy the subconscious is. So let's do it again. Are you ready? Pick up your right foot, same foot, clockwise motion, same way, same right hand in the air, but this time draw the 6 from the inside out. Oh. Now, some of you still can't do it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. But most of you got it. And here's what's crazy. And we've been all over the world. Been to Australia, Norway, Mexico, Canada, the US, the UK. We've done events all over the place. Everybody draws the 6 the same way. So all you did is told your subconscious to draw 6 different. Now, you didn't maybe have the perfect circle. Maybe now it was an oval. Right? But I didn't tell you to have a perfect circle. So all you did was change your subconscious about the way you draw the number 6, and all of a sudden you can do it. Now, who cares about drawing a number 6, really? But that's as easy as it is to shift your subconscious into doing something different. So maybe it's about a certain feeling or a certain thought. You can change your subconscious, and it changes everything. So you took an assessment. It's called the Hartman Value Profile, and this assessment literally measured how you think as accurately as a thermometer measures the temperature. And some of you are like, that's not possible. It only took me 10 minutes. Some of you are like, it took me 5. How many of you were getting ready to take the assessment and you're like, oh man, I got to get ready. Let's get nestled into my computer because it's going to be a while. I'm going to be here for like 30 minutes. And you took it and went, that's it? How many of you did that? Sir, that tells us a lot about your thought process. You have the tendency to overthink things sometimes. Does he? She's shaking her head, yes. Okay, we'll talk about, your assessment picks that up too, right? There's a timer we gauge, right? So how many of you went, oh, okay, yeah, it didn't take that long, but man, it's like, really? Like, I could care less about, how many of you were like in the 7th, 8th, or 9th thing, you're like, man, this could go anywhere. This could go 7, it could go 8, it could go 9, it could go 5, like, really? How many of you went, do we really tell anything from blowing up an airliner or a good meal or I like my work, it does me good? Like, can we really tell anything? And the truth is we can. It's the only assessment in existence that measures not your personality, because we didn't point out your personality at all, not your behavior, but ultimately how you think. Because how you think determines a lot, does it not? And we measured how you think. And we measured 6 primary areas: how you deal with people, how you deal with things, how you deal with ideas, how you deal internally with yourself, the joy in the process of things, and what motivates you. And we measured those areas. 6 primary areas. And you got different colors in your assessment. Now, some of you did not print your assessment. That's okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. But some of you did. In fact, let's find out right now. Who did not bring an assessment with them today? Raise your hand. Stephanie's got a Jane Doe assessment she'll give you. Now, this is not yours. This is Jane Doe, okay? You can take the assessment at any time. You can do it later. But for those of you that took it and have it with you, you saw different colors show up in your assessment, correct? Now, some of you have it in black and white, that's okay, but I'll give you an example. Green means that you are getting balanced thought process in your brain. Green is good. As soon as it turns a little bit yellow, you got to watch out. There's a risk involved in that. When it goes a little orange, there's even more of a risk, and when it goes red, that's somebody said you're screwed. Not quite, but it's the stuff that's running the show that we really got to figure out. So green, good. Yellow, not so good. Orange, red, that's the stuff that's really creating havoc in your life. There are risks in this thinking. That's all it is. There are potential risks. Now, if you have any blue in your assessment, it's time to change your printer cartridge. So I saw somebody back there with the little turquoise. It's okay. So let's help you understand how to read this. So you look at this, and there are different colors that show up, right? Left or right, doesn't matter. And at the bottom, there's a clarity score. So this tells us overall how balanced your thought process is. This is not a grade. How many of you looked at your report and went, oh my gosh, great, I'm flunking life? It's not a grade. It simply tells us overall how balanced that particular thought process is. That's it. So, here's what I want you to do. If you want to make it harder on yourself, write this down. If your bar goes to the left, it means you've undervalued something. And if it goes to the right, it means, how many of you are writing down right now? What did I say? If you want to make it harder on yourself, and you're voluntarily doing it. And some of you are like, yeah, I know. What does it mean to go to the right? Finish. How many of you make this business harder than it needs to be? How many of you are making life harder than it needs to be? And how many of you are still saying, yeah, I still have my pen. What does it mean to go to the right? Notice how stuck your subconscious is here. It doesn't matter. We tell you when it goes left or right. We give you words up there. So it doesn't matter which direction it goes in. Some of you feel like you need so much information to get things figured out, and you seek more and more and more information. How many of you are still trying to find all the information in the world out about this business to go make it work? So you feel like you got to be versed in everything, like every product and every ingredient in every product. You don't need to. Sometimes you just need to have a lot of energy, and that's enough. So, report's simple. We're going to go through each one of these. We won't go through every single bar. It's impossible. So today when your bar goes to the left, you'll go, okay. And then I say, if your bar goes to the right in this place, you'll go, okay. And then some of you won't have your bar in that direction. It'll go in the opposite direction. And you're going to want to raise your hand and go, what if my bar goes that way? So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Save those questions for during lunch or breaks or for another time. Because we can't go through every single bar. We'll be here until midnight. And I'm game if you are. But otherwise, if you want to get out of here at 4, we got to make sure we're only covering certain bars. So your report will go into detail about other things. So if we don't cover your bar today, see us at lunch. We'll talk to you about it. Or look at the information in your report, and it'll tell you information about that bar. Okay, fair enough? We good with that? Does anybody have any questions about the mechanics of this assessment? Any questions at all? Are some of you not thinking, well, what if I took it today? Wouldn't it be different? Or if I took it tomorrow? If I was in a better mood, wouldn't it be different? No. No. If you gave this 100% of your attention, or at least 99% of your attention, we got accurate results. And if you took it again today in a better mood, it wouldn't change. Now, it changes over time. So after a few months, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, it changes based on situations that are going on in your life. It doesn't have to change, but it can change. Based on you learning some of this stuff about yourself, your report will change, and it can get better, and sometimes it gets worse. Any other thoughts? Any other comments, questions about the assessment itself? If you want to do your own research on the science of axiology, you can totally do that. Hartman's book reads like a college algebra book. It's about 645 pages. So if you want to pick that up for a little late night reading, you can do that. Otherwise, you can go, okay, I'm going to trust you guys got this thing figured out, this assessment. You ready? Ready to dig into your thought process and what's actually slowing you down, what's getting you stuck, what might be getting in the way from you being completely successful or completely happy. You ready? All right.